Okay, so today we're going to do a pick a pile reading. You have two choices: amethyst or rose quartz. If you have never seen me before, hi, my name is Stasia. I am intuitive and I read energy, and today I'm playing with cards. I will bring through messages that come through depending on the pile. What we're looking at in the reading are your habits and your path where you're staying stuck. So if nothing changes, the shift that is available for you, and the timeline you step into if you allow the shift. But we're going to look at it from different decks. So again, pick a pile. You have rose quartz or amethyst. Okay, so if you picked rose quartz, this is going to be your reading. First, we're going to do a quick energy check in and see if this is resonant for you. I will tell you that a message that I heard for everyone was to drink more water. As these planets are moving into Aries, that our muscles might start to feel more tight, or you may start to feel more dried out. So, like your hair, your skin, and that we just need to make sure we're drinking more water because of the fire element and the stellium of the fire element, and where the planets are that resonate with like our physical body. Okay, so the reading, we're gonna get one, two, three, four, five, six cards. But first, let's see where you are. All right, Spirit. For group rose quartz, what is their current energy? Can you show me? Okay, so I feel like you have a lot of responsibilities and that you're tending to a lot of responsibilities. I feel like you're kind of tired and drained out. I will tell you, today's energy made me tired. There was a square between Jupiter and in Cancer and the Sun in Aries, I believe. And I just felt tired. Cancer is my 12th house. Aries is my ninth house. But this says fragmentation. Don't let chores crush your spirit. Dirty dishes, just small hurdles. They cannot rule your life. So there's a lot of things that are resonant. Like I feel like maybe you feel like things are chaotic right now. Rubber duckies could be important, or wanting to get away and be in the water. You could have pets. You could definitely like need to clean up your space right now, or you're in this like kind of looking around like there's also a dream catcher. So you could have recently bought a dream catcher or started to garden and start your plants. And I feel like your plants are going to grow just fine if you're worried about that. Seashells could be of importance. But yeah, I just feel like you're kind of fragmented. You're all over the place. And that is your current state. Okay. So the deck that we chose with this one is just the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot. So in this deck, we're going to get six cards. We're going to look at your current energy, what is keeping you stuck, the path you're on if nothing changes, the shift available to you, and then the timeline and message from your higher self. All right, Spirit. So we need six cards. Current energy for this collective. Who are they right now? What is their current energy? Oh, Nine of Swords. So You're feeling anxious. You're in this energy of being in your head. Part two. What's keeping them stuck? Ooh, okay. Path if nothing changes. Okay. The shift that is available to the collective. Okay. The timeline if they accept the shift. Okay. And then advice from their higher self. All right. Okay. So, what's keeping you stuck is the Nine of Swords. You actually have a lot of sword energy, but the Nine of Swords. So you're in your head. You're not sleeping at night. You are, but this is your current energy. So you're feeling kind of anxious, but then what's keeping you stuck is like your thoughts, right? So there's something here where the way that you're talking to yourself, it's this energy of like, I don't know what to do, man. I can't do that. What am I supposed to do? I don't really like you're as if you don't have control. You feel bound to a situation. And again, these are just your thought patterns, and I feel like these are thought patterns that you've had for a very long time, like many years, and that you're trying to or you're needing to break free from that. Like all of this like chaos that you're feeling in your life right now is very heavy on like your thoughts but the trick to that is to acknowledge the thought, to be aware of the thought, and then to counteract it with something else like, no, that's not true. I'll do the dishes in the morning, and then tell yourself, okay, I'm going to put 15 minutes and I'm just going to go in the kitchen and I'm going to do whatever is in front of me for 15 minutes. And then once you start to get your external world situated, your internal world will be able to calm down because there will be less to do. But the problem with that I'm feeling is that once you become quiet, you're someone who fills yourself with thoughts or like distractions or conversations that are kind of useless, and you're needing to change that. Like, I don't think that you like quiet mental space. I think that there's some fear in that for you. Okay, so the path you're on if nothing changes. So this is like your default timeline, right? Same patterns, same cycles, different day. And you got the Knight of Cups in reverse. And so, nights are coming in, and the Knight of Cups in reverse is giving me this energy of feeling depressed or sad. Like your thoughts are going to impact your emotional body, where you start to really encompass these thoughts and like negativity and the feeling of you cannot, the feeling of anxiety. And not that anxiety is not real, because anxiety is very real. And there may be a need for you to learn to like either seek medical advice, or like sometimes we get, and sometimes I've been in such like depth of bullshit that I needed something to bring me up to neutral, and then I took it from there step by step. And then you get stronger. So, like but you have to care for yourself and understand that you are participating in this, and that you have more control than you're giving yourself credit for having. Okay. The shift available to you is the King of Swords, right? I don't know. Did I show the Knight of Cups in reverse? This is if nothing changes. The shift that is available to you is a change of thought, a change of perspective, and maybe not a change of perspective, but a change of the way that you approach your self-talk, your conversations, your boundaries, your strategy. And I feel like you are going to look forward. You're going to start to face things head on from your thought process. I feel like the shift that is available that like right now is very pivotal, and it's all in your thoughts. It's like it doesn't mean that you just don't surround yourself with music or algorithm or TikToks or YouTube or that kind of in that reiterate the narrative that you're trying to get out of, right? There is like importance and like a complete shift, I feel like, in that. So the timeline that you step into, if you do reset your boundaries and your strategy and your way of communicating and your way of thinking and the way of like your thought patterns, is the Chariot. I feel like you're going to step into your power. You're going to step into your divinity. You're going to understand who you are. You're going to embody this new energy. You're going to create new results. You're going to have a new identity, because you're going to go from this person, the 8 and 9 of Swords, right? This person is like lost and confused and anxious and worried and stressed out, to like, all right, I can do this, right? I can do this and I got this. And the Chariot is fast moving. Like, I feel like all of this is available to you right now. But there may be a decision that you have to make, or there may be things that you have to balance. I feel like there is a need. It may still kind of feel wobbly is what I'm feeling, but I feel like you're going to allow yourself to move forward if you choose that path to move forward. And then the message from your higher self is the Death card, right? So your higher self is saying that this timeline that you're on is over with anyway, and that you're just lingering, which is why you are having all of the anxiety and the anxiousness. And they're also giving me this energy of like, know that when you are at the precipice of a change, that is when it is the most difficult. That is when you doubt yourself the most. That is when you have the most anxiety. And if you are experiencing that, just know it's because you're supposed to go through it, right? It's like as much good, there's like a opposite force of that. And I feel like the opposite force is kind of really working against you right now, and your higher self is saying just let it go. Like, if you choose to change and just let it go and change like your thought processes and your patterns, which I know sounds easy, and there's a whole alchemy and transmutation that happens in that, but they're saying like it's done, like you're done with this timeline anyway. You're done with like the worry, the stress, the scarcity, the lack of love, the depression. I feel like you are someone who may struggle with anxiety and depression, and that they're giving you a new sense of like boundary and movement and autonomy. But it all is going to require you to let it all go and to trust the process. Yeah, I feel like they're like, it's like you're right there. And I feel like it's like imposter syndrome or something is really like eating at your thoughts, and they're kind of like rooting you on, like, no, 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 come on, you can do it. Just let it go. Just let it go. Don't let that manifest to be your new reality, because thoughts become things, and they don't want that for you, because you'll have a lot of resentment and a lot of anger because this timeline is done. Okay, I'm gonna quit, but that is what I have for you. Um, I hope that helps. Okay, so if you chose Amethyst, this is your reading. First, we're going to get a card to see what your current energy is. Remember that the message should resonate to some degree. You can check out the other rose quartz reading if this one does not resonate, but it may or may not be your reading. So we're going to get a card here and just understand your current energy, and then I'm going to pull 6 cards, and I'll tell you the theme is more about habits and like your current energy was keeping you stuck, timeline shift type of reading. So, but first, Spirit, can you tell me for group Amethyst, what is their current energy? Oh, there was a message. I don't know if you listened to the full reading, but there's a message to drink more water and to stretch because of the planets moving into Aries. Okay. Amethyst, what is their current energy? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take these. Even though I wanted one, but we have three, so the number three could be important. I feel like you are someone who is at a crossroads, but you're not moving. Oh yeah. Okay. So I feel like there's like a clear message of you feeling confused about which path to take. And you're feeling kind of tired, but you feel like you've already traveled one of the roads, and like you can't get you can't. I feel like there's just something about direction that's coming out here, like a loss of direction. Like you've tried different things and you're kind of exhausted with that. So the first card coming out is the sleeping giant. It says, what potential is awakening within you and how can you nurture it? I'm also getting that there is some rest that is required because of the path that you are about to move on is another message that's coming through. So I feel like there is some like rest, or you may be resting because he is very peaceful in his sleep right now because you are growing and things are blooming. And I feel like this is in your internal world. And I also feel like you're going to embark on a new journey that is going to require your strength. And so there's a need for you to rest right now. It's a beautiful card, isn't it? I don't know if you see it. Beards could be significant. Long hair could be significant. Weaving could be significant. Your name could start with a Z. Or you could be reading a book right now. You could have just woke up from a nap. And then we have the crossroads. So what major decision are you facing? What does each path represent? And how do they reflect your values? So there's a message coming through where there's like, I feel like you are looking at I feel like you're looking at direction, but I feel like you're looking at the value of what each experience is going to give you. I feel like you're someone who is very well traveled. You're someone who wants to go many other places and you want to experience a lot of things. And I'm also getting some sense of a trip that you're planning right now. Like there's some like family vacation or a trip or something that is coming up. And you're trying to make sure that you are going to the right place. Mountains could be significant. The sun can be significant. An actual like map, like looking at the different areas and things on an actual map can be as significant, or even like a wooden sign. But the crossroads. Okay. And then we have the worn shoes. Where have your experiences taken you and what wisdom do they hold? Again, there's something about traveling, and there's something about like, I'm also getting like henna tattoos. So you could have recently just got a henna tattoo. I'm also getting like England is coming through, brown boots is coming through. But I feel like you're somebody who's very wise. I also feel like you're somebody who's very dapper is coming through, which is not a word that I use, but like I feel like there is some type of dapper to you. And I feel like you may be very unique in your energetic frequency. I feel like you are someone who is kind of chaotic on the darker side, or you have like this part of you that you don't show everyone that is just a little bit chaotic, but you like that about you, and it's part of the wisdom that you're able to give back to other people. Um, Yes, I feel like your current energy is like, one, you're definitely trying to figure shit out. And I feel like you're somewhere between like tried and true and resting and just getting insight and knowing that you'll know the path to take. But I don't feel like that is clear to you yet. So we're going to look at your current energy with tarot. We're going to get 6 cards. We're going to do your current energy. What is keeping you stuck? The path that you're on if nothing changes. The shift available to you. The timeline that you step into if you accept the shift. And then any advice from your higher self. All right, Spirit. So I need 6 cards. And my cards are upside down. Group Amethyst. 6 cards. All right. So, wow. If nothing changes, default timeline. Okay. The shift available to Group Amethyst. What is the shift available? Okay. One, two, three, four, five. And then what is the message from their higher self? Okay, so we're gonna clarify that. Okay? Okay. Okay. So the card that came out for your current energy is the Justice card. And again, I feel like there is this balance in your current energetic state. I feel like you are very clear on like who you are. I feel like you could be a Libra, you could be a High Priestess. Both are coming through, but I feel like you are just very well balanced. And so, like there's no underestimation I'm hearing like about who you are. You know who you are. But there is a balance, like thoughtful. You understand like the consequences of your actions. You understand like the path and that there is a choice that you have to make. But I feel like she again is not making it. She's also resting. Like you earlier, I was hearing something about God rallying troops, and I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to be waking up because there's work to be done. And I feel like you're kind of waiting, like, okay, God will let me know when I need to step in. And then what's keeping you stuck is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is, I feel like you may be overthinking or over expecting, or you could also be overindulging and not well balanced in the things that you need to get done. Like maybe you are sleeping too much, maybe you're eating too much, maybe you are, but I feel like you are feeling like it should have happened and it has not happened yet. And that thought pattern is keeping you stuck because it is going to happen in divine timing. But with the Wheel of Fortune coming out as like a habit or a fear, you could also be afraid of like fame. You could be afraid of being seen. I'm also getting that. Like maybe you're hiding out. Ooh, that is very resonant for someone. I feel like you're hiding out because you do know how big you can be and you are aware of your energy. But in divine time and all things are going to happen anyway. So, yeah. And then the path you're on if nothing changes. So if you stay in this balance, complacent, not making a decision, not moving, but knowing energy, you're going to be in the Seven of Cups, which is confusion, right? It's like too many options. You're going to start to feel overwhelmed. You're going to start to feel lack of clarity about who you are. And I feel like that's really going to cause you a lot of impact. But this is your default timeline. It's cloudy, it's foggy, because you're at a point where you know you're supposed to move. And the way that that works is you either move or you kind of sitting in borrowed time in the in between. And so I feel like you would fall somewhere in this energy of like just fogginess, where you're not feeling like you're doing your best. You're not feeling like you're being impactful. You're not feeling like you're who you're supposed to be in this current state, because you've fallen into like the Seven of Cups. The shift that is available to you is truth. It's also a new thought pattern. It's also like a knowingness with it's a decision. Like there is the answer is available to you. I'm hearing the truth is available to you. Where you need to go is available to you. It is a matter of you listening and opening your eyes and acting up on it and trusting and having faith in it. But I feel like you're in your head. I don't even think you're in your head. I just kind of feel like you're a soul that's been here before, and you're kind of like, ugh, like, okay, it's very kind of, it's not like unknowingness energy. Like your energy is kind of like, been here and done that, and here I go again. Okay. The timeline that you step into if you shift. So the upgraded version of you is the Judgment card. The upgraded version of you has made a decision. And this is the card of Pluto. So there's some type of transformation where you step into your power and you're looking back at the past accomplishments and being okay with them. Like, I did the best that I could. Like I've alchemized, I've grown from it. Like I approach things in the best way that I knew how to approach things. And because of that, I've changed and my frequency has been upgraded. This is always like, casting out things, releasing things, and rising above. And that is what is available to you. So they're kind of saying like, wake up and be great. All right. So the advice from your higher self is the Tower card. The Tower card is shifts and changes, sudden shifts and changes. This could be shocking. This could be because anything that's like out of the norm kind of throws us off a bit. We're human. We like our patterns and systems and comfort zones. And this is saying to get out of your comfort zone, I'm feeling like. But I am going to get a card to clarify the Tower. What is this Tower card, Spirit? Hey, yo. Nine of Cups. Okay, so love to see it. Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups happens because you chose to walk away from something that may have felt good or not felt good. It may have looked good on like paper. Like you've walked away from something that everybody else was kind of like, oh, and you trusted yourself. You trusted the path. And now you're here, and I feel like you're afraid to like walk the path. But there is going to be something that shows up for you that is a wish fulfillment to help you. I feel like to help you move, to move you, to get you like, turning in the right direction. I feel like, these cards are very similar, but I feel like this card is going to start turning. You're going to start moving. You're going to start, like becoming. But this Tower card with the Nine of Cups is like, expect something good to come in for you. And it's something that's going to be like, I wasn't expecting that, So I love that for you. I hope that helps. I feel like you got to get to moving. So get to moving.